Hello students, how are you doing? This is Farhan Bhutto and I'm here with another video about the tenses. So students, in my previous video, I talked about past simple tense. So this video will focus on present perfect tense. Dear students, there are many uses of present perfect tense. Now, the most common use is that it is used to describe recent events without a definite time. Now, the idea of time or place in the speaker's mind makes the event recent. Now, our time expressions may emphasize recentness. Our time expression like just, like recently, like lately. Now, these all time expressions indicate the recentness. Now, for example, so somebody asks, why are these children so happy? And the response is, they have just won a prize, so they are really pleased. So now in this sentence, they have just won a prize. The time expression just indicates the recentness, and that is why we have used present perfect tense here. Now, another common use of present perfect tense is that we use the present perfect tense to talk about experiences. Now, it is important if we have done it in our lives or not, but it is not important when we did it. The examples: I've been abroad 2 times. Anna has never broken a leg. Have you ever eaten sushi? Okay, so these all sentences actually talk about our experiences. Now, a tip can be, we often use never and ever with the present perfect tense to talk about experiences. So one more usage of present perfect tense is that it is used to talk about experiences. And when we talk about experiences, these two expressions, these two words like never and ever are mostly used. Okay, so another use of present perfect tense is to talk about an action which started in the past and continues up to now. For examples, I've been a teacher for more than 10 years. We haven't seen Janin since Friday. How long have you been at this school? Okay, so we also use present perfect tense sometimes when the action started in the past and it is continuous up to now. Okay, let's talk about another use of the present perfect tense. We also use the present perfect tense to talk about a past action that has the result in the present. So we talk about in present perfect tense, we talk about a past action, an action which happened in the past, but it still has some effect in the present. Like, see these examples here. I've lost my wallet. So what is the effect now is that I don't have it now. Jimmy has gone to South America. So what is the effect now? The effect now is that he isn't here now. Have you finished your homework? That means the effect in present is that, is your homework ready? So if you have finished your homework, it should be ready by now. So we often use just, already, and yet with the present perfect tense for an action in the past with the result in the present. So if you see these few sentences, the action is in the past, but the effect is still, or the result is still in the present. Now, these were some of the uses of present perfect tense, but how to form present perfect tense? What could be the sentence structure of present perfect tense? Let's see. Well, we make the present perfect tense with the correct form of auxiliary verb have. So we have these two auxiliary verbs have and has in the present perfect tense, and the third form or past participle of the main verb. I'm sorry, this is written male, but it's main verb. So we make the present perfect tense with using the auxiliary verb, and the auxiliary verbs which are used in present perfect tense are has and have. And with has and have, we use third form of the verb. Okay, like I have won the match. Okay, so have and then a past participle or third form of the verb win, which is won. Now, in order to form the past participle of the regular verbs, we add ed to the infinitive. Now, we discussed this in detail in our previous lecture, that what are regular verbs and what are irregular verbs, and how to make past and past participle forms for regular and irregular verbs. For instance, now examples are, I have worked as a secretary for 2 years. Now here, work is used as a regular verb. So see, subject and then auxiliary verb, has or have, and then past participle form of the verb, and the remaining sentence, rest of the sentence. Now it is important to know with what we use has and with what we use has. So with third person singular means he, she, it, or with one name, we use has, and with the rest of the subjects we use have. So he has worked as a secretary, she has worked as a secretary, Aslam has worked as a secretary, but I have worked as a secretary, you have worked as a secretary, they have worked as secretaries. Okay, so now you've got that when to use has and when to use have. Okay, so we have got these two, has and have, as auxiliary verbs in present perfect tense, and then we have this third form of the verb or present participle, past participle form of the verb. So let's see some of the examples. I worked as a secretary for 2 years. Have you ever visited the Disneyland? The film hasn't started yet. Now you may want to visit the English irregular verb pages to learn how we form the past simple and past participle of some English verbs. So you already know these irregular verbs that these irregular verbs. So if you don't know what are regular verbs and irregular verbs, you can just type the list of regular verbs, the list of irregular verbs, and you can have a lot of regular and irregular verbs. So you should, when you have a verb, you should know whether it's a regular verb or an irregular verb. I've just told you that where to use has and where to use have. So with I, we use have. Okay, so I've been to Moscow. So if it is an informal, you can use this, with I. But with formal writing, we'll use the correct form. I have been to Moscow. You have finished the exercise. He has just gone home. She has already had a holiday this year. It has broken. We have seen this film before. They've bought a new car. Okay, so as you can see here, with I we use have, with you we use have, with he we use has, with she we use has, with it we use has, but again with we and they we use have as auxiliary verbs. So you need to know when you're using present perfect tense, you need to know whether you should be using has or have as auxiliary verbs. Now, how to make negative sentences? Now, if you remember in my, I guess, first video, I told you when you've got an auxiliary verb in your tense, it's very easy to change it into negative or change it into interrogative, because if you've got an auxiliary verb, simply add not after your auxiliary verb and it becomes a negative sentence, and put the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence and it becomes an indicative question. Okay, I hope you remember indicative question or yes no question and then interrogative questions. So if you put this auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence, it becomes an indicative or a yes no question. So how to make this negative sentences? I have been abroad. I have I have not been abroad yet. You have not answered my question. He has not been home for 5 years. She has not found a new job. It has not finished yet. We have not worked on a farm. They have not seen each other for ages. So you can see here with have and has, we have added not. So if we have added not with has and have, the sentence has changed into a negative sense, a negative sentence. Okay, so like I have done my homework. I have not done my homework. Negative sentence. Uh, you have eaten your meal. You have not eaten your meal. He has done a good job. He has not done a good job. So just add not after your auxiliary verb and it is your negative sentence. Now how to make yes no questions. As I've already explained to you that you just put these auxiliary verbs at the beginning of the sentence and it becomes your yes, no, or indicative questions. So see, I have done it before. I have not done it before. Have I done it before? Have I ever done it before? Have you been to the cinema recently? Has he worked here long? Has she already sent the fax? Has it ever been in a crash? Have we done it right? Have they gone home yet? So in order to change your affirmative sentence into a yes no question and present perfect tense, you put has or have, I mean your auxiliary verbs, at the beginning of the sentence. Now let's talk about interrogative questions or information questions. These are called information questions also because in order to respond to these questions, you have to give certain information. So in my previous videos, I've already told you that in order to make interrogative questions, what you do, you place your interrogative pronouns before your auxiliary verbs. So I have done, positive. I have not done, negative. Have I done, question, indicative question. In order to make interrogative question, so this is your indicative question, have I done? Place all these WH words, questions, like have I done? What have I done? Have you been here? How long have you been here? Has he been married? How many times has he been married? Has she visited? What countries has she visited? Has it been? Where has it been? Have we been together? How long have we been together? Where have they worked? So in order to make informative questions, you use these interrogative pronouns. What, how long, how many times, what countries, where, why. These all interrogative pronouns at the beginning of your sentences. Okay, we also use already and yet in our present progress and in our present perfect tense. Now, when we use already, already means that something happened earlier than we expected, with present perfect already usually goes after have or has and before the main verb. The examples can be like, we have already had our breakfast. When are you going to do your homework? But I have already done it. So as it indicates here, that it means that something happened earlier than we expected. So when are you going to do your homework? That means when the person who is asking the question has not expected that the homework has been done already. So the answer could be I have but I have already done it. So when you have said but, that means your listener is not expecting it. Okay, so we use already uh, for something that happened earlier than we expected. And this with present perfect already usually goes after have or has. Okay, do you want a cup of coffee? No thanks, I've already had one. There's some other keywords which are used for present perfect tense. The other one can be yet, one of them can be already, the other one can be yet. So we do have some keywords in present perfect tense, and if we have these keywords, so we can expect that this sentence is actually in present perfect tense. So certain keywords are used for present perfect tense. Two of them are already and yet. Now, how to use yet? Yet means that something that we expected has happened or has not happened. We usually put it at the end of a sentence. Examples can be, has the post arrived yet? Have you done your homework? Not yet. That means I have not done my homework yet. Haven't you got ready yet? Look at the time. Okay, so already and yet, these two words are used as keywords in our present perfect tense. So keywords here means that if you have got these words in a sentence, that means the sentence is likely to be the present perfect tense. Now, there's some other keywords also which are used for present perfect tense. Let me tell you some other keywords which can be used in present perfect tense. A keyword like never. Okay, so when you say, I've never seen such a beautiful sunset, or you can use the word like ever. So never and ever, like already and yet, we use never or ever also in present perfect tense. The sentence of ever can be, well, have you ever visited London? So we use ever when we ask a question. Okay, so have you ever visited London? The answer might be I have never visited London. Another word which is used in and the keyword which is used in present perfect tense is before. Like, I have tried this dish before. Okay, so here this keyword before tells us that the sentence is in present perfect tense. Now there can be some other keywords as well. These other keywords could be like time expressions, like several times. Okay, so you can say that I have tried this dish several times, or many times. I've tried this dish many times, or a few times. Uh, I have been to London a few times, or time expressions like a couple of times or a lot of times, like I have met him a couple of times, or I've met him a lot of times already. So these all time expressions, these all keywords indicate that the sentence is in present perfect tense. Well, that's all about present perfect tense. I'm sure that you have understood it. So students, this was all about present perfect tense. I'll get you back with another video soon. Till then, bye-bye.